Hey, ChevRod here.
ChevRod here. What's going on, subscribers? We thought we'd do a little video here on... Okay, let's start. Everybody who's been asking about the Copart Saturn Vue. Long story short, I lost my ass on that car. Kind of one of those things. We got it all cleaned up. You know, if you watched the videos, you saw kind of what we were dealing with. The oil cooler issue, I took care of. I made the block off plate, put that on, whatever. That was fine. And if you remember from the first video, there was coolant in the oil, or no, excuse me, oil in the coolant, but no coolant in the oil. So let's go back. Last weekend, we went out to the junkyard and grabbed a handful of odds and ends that it needed. We got a muffler, we got a mirror, I put the new back window in, fender, headlight bracket, you know, pretty much got it all buttoned up. And then we got it running, and it ran good until the thermostat opened. It had a massive head gasket leak. At that point, we said, fuck it.
Screw it.
Slapped it the rest of the way together, drove it outside, and left it. I posted it on for sale for $500 your best offer. All my offers were for $250, except for one. I got an offer for $300 from some kid who just wanted to jump it. I guess he buys these cars, whatever, he jumps them, has some fun with them, and then scraps them out.
So we're waiting for a video on that.
Fine by me. He's supposed to be sending me a video of this thing doing a Dukes of Hazzard. So, yeah, I lost my ass. You win some, you lose some. It just so happened I lost on the first one.
Maybe next time we'll actually go look at the car before we
That's a good idea.
So,
that's a good idea.
Now we know. We'll do it right the next time.
I mean, we're not talking huge money, but enough to where it sucks.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anytime you don't make money is a bad time.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so...
This video.
Copart Saturn's done. Whatever. This video, we thought we'd do a quick one on each of our top 5 most... I won't say most useful, I'll say most used. Most used tools, equipment, whatever, in the shop, in your average do-it-yourselfer's garage shop, pretty much. There's nothing too special here. All right, so without further ado, we'll get into our top 5s. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. My number 5, medium-sized pair of channel locks. You can pretty much, I mean, I got larger ones, but sometimes you just can't get them in a tighter space. You got a medium-sized here. Grab anything you could possibly need. You should also have a pair of channel locks or a pair of vice grips always in your vehicle at all times.
You can tell it's a medium size because of how medium it is.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much do everything you ever need to. If you can get to it in good proximity with this, you can pretty much do anything that you can with a wrench.
If you don't have dainty little girl hands, you gotta squeeze it.
Yeah. You're number 5.
Oh, my number 5, we're going that way.
Yep.
All right, I don't know. Who knows if this is really in order, but I'm going with your average, be it Harbor Freight, be it whatever, your cheap ass 4.5 inch angle grinder. I got a flap wheel on here right now, but a grinder with a death wheel or cutoff wheel, whatever, is invaluable. It just is. If you don't have one, go get one. If you haven't used one, then I don't know what the hell you're doing, because
Nothing cool.
you just need it. If something's rusted, you can't get it loose, cut it. Whatever. If you're a shitty ass welder, grind it. But yeah, that's my number 5.
My number 4. Bench grinder / wire wheel. I am a fan of cleaning up all the bolts that I can whenever I take them out of vehicles. I don't like putting them in all rusty. I like to be able to get them back out later if it's not a vehicle that I'm about to get rid of. But no, just cleaning up everything, cleaning up welds on shit that's portable, really anything. Bench grinder, perfectly useful. That's my number 4.
What you said. All right. We'll say number 4. This will be kind of a twofer. This, what do I call this? A pry driver. Okay? Your average, regular, people say flathead screwdriver, especially a stout one, is always a pry bar. Especially if it's a decent quality one. This happens to be a snap-on. I'm not saying you gotta get snap-on because it's stupid.
We're also saying that
It just
that
happens
a
to be
Harbor
what I have
Freight
in my hand.
flathead is not
Whatever.
a
Pry
driver.
driver. Coupled with a crescent hammer. This happens to be a big one, which is why it's also a good hammer. But a crescent wrench of any size, yeah, they don't work for everything. But man, if that's all you got, or if, hey, I just don't feel like figuring out what size this is. It's crescent size. Mm-hmm. And coupled with a pry driver, come on.
Number 3 is an actual hammer. I tend to always have a hammer next to where I'm working, either that or on the roll cart. I mean, you just hit stuff, and it moves. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty useful.
Fix it or feel better, right?
Yep.
Oh, man, number 3.
Yep.
Okay, hang on. Okay. I'm hoping this is in frame. This is a battery charger. This happens to be a pretty decent, stand-up unit. It will go, your 6 volt, 12 volt, 2 amp, 6 amp, 12 amp, 40 amp, your start. One with a boosting capability is definitely recommended. It doesn't have to be a big stand-up one like this or whatever, but you gotta have a battery charger, and really one with boosting capabilities, because who's got the damn time to trickle charge a shit-ass battery all the time?
Not us.
Not me. So, yeah, either boost it or start it on fire. That's how that works.
Number 2. A semi-big-ish size pair of vice grips.
That's medium.
Yeah. Well, you should also have one of these in your cars at all times too. But we use it around the shop every single day. Basically, I mean, anything that you can get a channel locks onto, but if you don't want to keep on squeezing, then this is your best bet, especially for getting broken bolts off, like exhaust
Brake
manifold
bleeders
bolts. Yep.
that won't move.
Yep, brake bleeders, exhaust manifold bolts. Stuck a little slag on there with a welder, and then boom, you got it out. Absolutely a necessity.
Which, coincidentally, can also be used as a hammer.
Really, anything can be used as a hammer.
True that.
Anything that doesn't crush.
I think we're on number 2.
Yep.
Number 2, one of these bad boys, for sure. It doesn't have to be DeWalt. Milwaukee makes a good one. And, I mean, hell, Harbor Freight, what is their line? Earthquake stuff. It's great. It really is. But a 3/8 or an impact driver like this, you put a 3/8 driver in there or a 1/4 inch or whatever. I mean, anything that's not, lug nut size where you need a decent size impact. I use this all the time for everything. It's fast, it's light. You gotta have one of these.
Hand tools are for peasants.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nope. My number one, as aforementioned, earthquake, Harbor Freight, 1/2-inch impact. This thing will beat out Snap-on. It will beat out, actually it beats out his Milwaukee. I have not yet found anything that this thing will not either break or remove. And I've charged the battery. We use it every day. I've charged the battery like, maybe 4 times in the past like 4 or 5 months. No, this thing is insane. It's a little heavy, so I mean, you gotta have a little arm strength, but my number one most used tool in the shop, by far.
Okay, that brings me to my number one. We're gonna pick you up, move you over here. My number one is going to be the lift. Now I know that's gonna be out of some people's reach, either for space constraints, height restraints, or cost, although they are not as expensive as you think. If you are contemplating a lift, I urge you to really look around and see what they really cost, because they are not as much as you think. And it is a game changer. I use it every day. And if you're like me and done this shit as long as I have, I don't know if I could be doing it on the ground anymore. I honestly don't. It takes so much out of you. This thing is invaluable. Makes a huge difference in the shop, makes jobs that you might not even feel like attempting, not a big deal. Going along with that, we'll call this an honorable mention. You'll see on each post there is one wrench hanging. This is a 15. If you work on a lot of GM, you gotta have a 15. And we choose 2 wrenches to have right here on the lift all the time. This is a 10 mil because 10 mil, yeah. So a 15 and a 10 mil are always hanging on the lift all the time because you need them. And finally, our most used instrument here in the shop is your beverage of choice. Because what fun is it without it?
Makes
Plus,
every job more enjoyable.
Stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm. Hydraulic sandwiches.
Hydraulic sandwiches, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? You want to say what you were saying before when it froze up?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you guys got any videos that you like to see along this topic, or really anything else, like as far as useful tools, because there is a difference between used and useful. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you like to see any other videos.
Let us know. Feel free to tell me how big of a dumbass I am for the Saturn. Okay, till next time.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Check you later.